Praise be Jesus and Mary. Today we celebrate the memorial of Saint Bernard, and when I think of Saint Bernard, I think of that beautiful Marian prayer, the Memorare. Saint Bernard is known as a Marian doctor of the Church. There are some scholars who say that he did not write the Memorare, but it actually came later on and is attributed to a certain Father Claude Bernard. But in any case, whoever came up with that prayer was certainly inspired, because there are numerous examples throughout the history of the Church of the power of that prayer to Our Lady. Remember, O most gracious Virgin Mary. There's the one example of St. Francis de Sales. We know about his period of darkness. In his days, there was the big debate between the Catholics and the Calvinists about predestination. And by God's permission, St. Francis de Sales was tempted by an evil spirit in thinking that he was numbered among the damned. And so it really caused him to go right to the brink of despair. He was so downcast and darkness of soul until one day, after about a month of that, he entered a church and knelt before Our Lady, a statue of Our Lady, and prayed the Memorare. And that's when he was freed from the temptation. But what is perhaps more surprising is the story of Alphonse Ratisbonne, because with St. Francis de Sales, we have a devout soul. We have a man who prays, a man who has faith. But with Alphonse Ratisbonne, we have someone who is an ethnic Jew and who hates the Catholic faith. And yet he accepts the challenge from his friend, the Baron La Ferronnays, to wear the miraculous medal, but not only to wear the miraculous medal, but to say the Memorare. And that was a condition, a necessary condition of the challenge, according to La Ferronnays. He said, well, not only do you have to wear the medal, but you have to say this prayer, the Memorare. Every day, I think he established for 9 days, he had to do that. And Alphonse Ratisbonne said he had never prayed. He didn't know any prayers. But he finally conceded and said, okay, I'll say this prayer. And so he wrote it down, he copied it, the Memorare, Remember, O most gracious Virgin Mary. And he said that after he wrote that prayer down, he could not get it out of his head. It just kept re-echoing on and on. Remember, O most gracious Virgin Mary. And then, as we know, Our Lady appeared to him when he entered into the church of Sant'Andrea delle Frate in Rome and went before a certain side chapel. Our Lady appeared as the mediatrix of all graces, the image on the miraculous medal, and granted Alphonse Ratisbonne infused knowledge of the faith, a certain knowledge of the deplorable state of his soul, and the grace of repentance and conversion. And after that, he wanted to be baptized immediately. So these are just, it demonstrates, this example of Alphonse Ratisbonne demonstrates how Our Lady really is the mother of all of us, you know. She has care over every soul who is in this world, and she is the mother of that soul. And as spiritual mother, it is her role, her duty, her responsibility to bring that soul to heaven. And she is so ready to do so with miraculous graces. Okay? All she needs is that soul, as St. Maximilian teaches, is to make one act of love for her, one act of devotion, just merely open the door a crack, and Our Lady will mediate grace to that soul. And so we too should not let a day go by without saying the Memorare, this powerful prayer, but especially in times of difficulty. We can see in the petition, it's certainly for a soul who finds himself in some trial. Remember, O most gracious Virgin Mary, that never was it known that anyone who fled to thy protection, implored thy help, or sought thy intercession was left unaided. Inspired with this confidence, I fly unto thee, O Virgin of Virgins, my Mother. To thee do I come, before thee I stand, sinful and sorrowful. O Mother of the Word incarnate, despise not my petitions, but in thy mercy hear and answer me. Amen.